I was looking at my to-do list for this week and I'm so behind on everything. It didn't look that ambitious, but maybe it was. And that kind of made me think of, when you feel behind in life. Do you ever feel behind in life? It's something I've felt before. I can't really say that at this stage. Am I now that I feel behind in life per se? I think I've come to the conclusion that I'm just on my own journey. Okay, well, maybe there are a couple areas in my life where I do feel behind a little bit sometimes. But when it comes to my art journey, I think I'm pretty much at peace where I'm at. But it's so easy in this day and age to feel behind because of social media, right? You see all these people that are maybe much younger than you, seem more successful than you, or, and maybe that's just a mind game. What I mean by mind game is I feel like when we feel behind in life, it just comes down to really three things. It's either you're comparing your journey to others, maybe your idea of success doesn't look like what's around you, and the expectations we have in our minds of where we should be, at what age, what we should be doing, and maybe seeing something different around us. So coming from someone who started their art journey in their, I want to say maybe early 40s, I started drawing, and starting a YouTube channel in my 50s. I'm now almost 52. I know, I can't believe it either. I feel like when you feel behind in life, maybe you're trying to fit in a box that's not yours, because we all have that unique journey that means maybe we'll go through some detours, so to speak. Like even if you have a certain idea of what your success should look like, and you see other people achieve that way before you do, it doesn't mean that it's not in the cards for you. And yeah, like I said, maybe it's just you're taking a detour right now and you'll get there. I've been thinking of the time I felt behind in life, but also through my journey, even though I'm starting my art career later in life, I've experienced so many other things that are making me who I am. And maybe I needed to experience all these other things in order to be successful at being an artist and a content creator, because I bring that perspective that I didn't have before. For instance, I lived in several countries. I lived in England, in Italy. I grew up in France. And then I live in the US now for the last 20 years. Every time I moved, I had to, start over and meet new friends and get new jobs. And that put me away from that desire of mine to have a creative career, become an artist. But at the same time, I've had other experiences that make me who I am today, and maybe that's just what I needed to experience before I could find any success, whatever success means. I think it's good to remind ourselves that the journey is so important, and feeling behind is just maybe something we can reframe and just look at all the other stuff you've been through that sets you apart from other people and makes you super unique and interesting and you. I better finish this drawing I started. So if I were to give advice to someone who's feeling behind in life, I would say first, when it comes to comparison, well, remember that not everyone online shares the whole journey. Some don't necessarily share also their failures or how long it took them to get there. They might still be young and successful, but you don't know, maybe they started really young. Some people know what they want to do super young and some don't, and that's perfectly fine. And also maybe looking for people who have achieved what you like to achieve later in life. For instance, for me, I look up to artist Lisa Congdon because she started her art career in, I think, early 40s or maybe late 30s, but so later in life. And also because she's a self-taught artist and she kind of carved her own path. And yeah, I think that's very inspiring. So if I'm going to compare my journey to anyone, I think for your own mental health, it's maybe a better idea to compare it to people who maybe have carved their own path in a similar way that you're aspiring to. Because it really shows you that it's possible, right? And then when it comes to success, in society, success might look like, having a lot of money or being famous or things like that. But your definition of success might be very different. For me, success would be having freedom over my time, location freedom, freedom to do what I love while making money, doing what I love also. And having that freedom to be able to travel more, but your definition of success could be even simpler, like just having enough time to spend with your friends and family. And then lastly, I would say, what own expectations do you have in your mind that make you feel like you're behind? And can you just change those? Because sometimes expectations are things that we choose when we're a teenager or early 20s, or you see the path of other people before you and you in your mind maybe you have that expectation, that's where I should be at that age, because that's just, that's kind of how things should be, but there's no rules. So I would say just kind of reevaluate your own journey, your own expectations in your mind, and maybe set different goals also, what do you want to achieve in the next 5 years? It doesn't have to look like anyone else's journey at all. So if you're feeling behind, know that life isn't a race, and all of your experiences are really valuable, and they're probably going to help you become successful, whatever success is for you, right? And so I think the timing is just right. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. It's your journey and your journey alone. And I think it's writer George Eliot who said, "It's never too late to be who you might have been," right?